And we're back.
Yep.
I don't know if we have an intro on these, so
Shit.
I'm Cass.
And I'm Becca.
And these are our Game of Thrones reviews. Today we are reviewing 703, The Queen's Justice. Let's jump right in. Our first scene was wildly unexpected for me. I didn't think we would go right into Jon arriving. Time is a funny thing. Where's Arya though? But it's Jon, and he lands with Davos and his other nondescript northern men, and Davos and Missandei meet, and then they all meet, and Tyrion and Jon are reunited, and they make references back to it, and then they walk up the path, and he makes a joke about Sansa. Tyrion does. She's much smarter than she lets on. Another inappropriate joke about, not having sex with the sister, which is nice to mention, but anyway. And Jon's like, oh, but she's starting to let on, that she's smarter than she lets on, blah, 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 blah. Jon gets really scared by dragons. Really, Birdie? Really? I'm going to get you. I can't do anything about this one.
I can hear her.
She's like... It's really good sound. Yeah, we have a co-host, my dog, because they can't stand being without me. Or the one, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, that's our scene. Not much to it other than what I said, but were you happy to see them reunited? The gang. The two.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird because I was thinking about it and I was like, man, they haven't talked to each other since like season 1.
Yeah,
right?
My cat just stepped on my laptop and she got rid of all the panels. I don't know what happened. It's still here. I'm sure I'll figure that out later. She probably just closed a window. But anyway, sorry about that. Okay. I'm going to have to take care of this. It's fine. Just go ahead. I'm here.
Okay. I was just going to say that watching that scene, it just reminded me of how much I love Davos and how glad I am that Davos and Jon are like in a team.
Mm-hmm. I think he would actually find a lot to like about Dany.
I think so too.
Oh, you're gonna bark at me now? Okay. So then technically our second scene would be Melisandre and Varys, who were watching all of this, and Melisandre was, camping up, not wanting to come down for obvious reasons, especially because Davos is there,
Yeah, I don't think that would have been a warm reunion at all.
No, probably not. And
lots of death.
And she's like, I brought ice and fire together. And Varys is wondering, why she isn't going. He's all sneaky little, and she's like, yeah, I made mistakes. I made some mistakes. And she's like, I'm going to Volantis, which is not in Westeros, so she's getting the F out of here. But she'll be back one last time to die, just like Varys.
Yeah, I was like, when she goes, I have to die in this strange country, just like you, I was like, what the hell does that mean?
Well,
what does that fucking mean?
I don't know. She knows shit. Marty
is losing her shit on that toy.
I don't really know. I haven't really thought much about how long Varys will last. Do you see him making the long haul to the end of the road of our story?
Knowing our luck, it's going to be him, Varys, and Littlefinger and Melisandre. It's just going to be those three fighting over the crown.
Then I just hope the freaking walkers get everybody.
Yeah, me too.
It's not that I don't like Varys, but anyway. So then sees the scene 3 is Dawn and Dawn.
Is that their ship name?
Dawn. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Dany, actually I don't know. It's probably Ice and Fire, right? It's probably not their names. But it's Donnie. It's because my handwriting is weird. Dany and Jon meet. And she gets all her titles, Missandei, because Missandei is very proud and of her friend, really, at this point, I guess, despite everything. And, you know, I love her a lot, and I'm proud of her for her titles, but it's a bit much.
At first, I thought that she was saying all of those, and I was like, "Man, Danny, like,
you know your
we
stuff.
get it, but holy shit,
You know your stuff, Danny."
But she and what's her name have very similar voices apparently, because I could not tell the difference.
Yeah, a little more now that Missandei is using her, you know, well, she's always kind of talked like that. I can see what you mean.
When she was like yelling, it was hard for me to tell the difference.
Yeah, putting a little bit more into it. She's like explaining the Stark and Targaryen relationship of the past, how his ancestor, you know, knelt to the Targaryens and what was the word, perpetuity? In perpetuity, which means forever. I actually like that scene a lot because I don't know, I thought it was cool. I like seeing her be like that for some reason, but he's not into it. And he's like, you need me and I need you. And she's like, fuck you, I got dragons. What the fuck are you on, bro? Kind of good point. But then he's like telling her about the White Walkers. And then she approaches and, you know, explains to this total stranger all the horror she's been through, you know. But what I thought was interesting is that I think she was referring to Khal Drogo as her rapist, which is both like, I mean, obviously true, but also interesting that she acknowledges that. I mean, I think you kind of have to. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, but I was glad it happened, and also I felt like she's telling a total stranger about all these things. I don't know. Maybe she shouldn't have to be ashamed. It's nothing she did wrong. So either that's good or just a bit much, but I still enjoyed the scene a lot, and it was just kind of something I wasn't prepared for. I
thought that, because I watched the after part where they talk about the scenes, and he was talking about how, you know, Jon sees her as this, like, little princess that, you know, has never had to do anything. And I was like,
that seems like bullshit to me.
It's like,
is that
I don't
what
know why
Jon really
that.
thinks that about anybody? I don't think Jon's the type of character who would ever think of anybody like that. Like, even if they were, I don't think he ever thought of Cersei like that, or like his sisters. It seems weird. It seemed very
I agree.
off, but
then again, I mean, a lot of the time when they try to explain like the characters' motivations, I'm like, did you read the books? Do you know what characters you're talking about?
Because I don't understand.
Are you on PCP? What's happening?
Maybe.
Where are you? Are you in an alternate timeline and you've somehow been able to manipulate this one?
I think so.
I just want to understand.
There's a lot of weird ideas overlapping here that don't seem to mesh sometimes. But nonetheless, he's like still trying to persuade her. And from day one, this is day one, but from the second that he came in, I was like, you know, Jon, she doesn't know you. And also he doesn't know you. So like, it is a little bit on both ends, stupid and naive. And obviously, like, he couldn't have expected her to believe him or him to kneel to her. I don't know.
I think he expected her to not believe him, but he was hoping maybe. And then, because I think his main goal was just to get the dragon glass.
Oh my god, I wrote Stannis for Davos. Wow. My notes are great.
What?
I was like, Stannis? What the fuck? Stannis?
Where's he been?
Where's Stannis? Where did he come from? But yeah,
but her expecting him to kneel, I thought was kind of funny, because I was like, why would you think he doesn't know you? Like, and I don't think he thought she would believe him necessarily, but I think he was naive in thinking that she would team up with him.
I don't think he went about it the right way. Like, I would have had a better game plan. He had some time to sort this shit out.
That boat ride is probably pretty long.
On both their ends, but I think especially on him, because, like, he was just going to fucking leave without asking. We'll talk about that later, but he was going to leave, I guess, or try to leave. We're getting ahead of ourselves
he just wanted his boat. That was also stupid. I was like, you're just going to leave? Okay.
But Davos goes to Team Jon, and I love that speech. We all love Davos. Even in the books, I think he's the character that I think is most similar to his book counterpart, probably because he doesn't have, like, I think he has equal time in the book as he does on the TV show. So it's kind of easier to have that. Plus, he's a simple man, you know, like, in the best way. You know, I don't think there's ever any deception going on with Davos, which makes him probably the most easy to understand. So thus, in the book and in the show, similar. But and he gives that speech, which is very well acted. And then he almost slips up and says that he took a knife in the heart for his people, which is brought back later. And I was, I don't know. I guess they're not ready to divulge that info, which I don't think I would do. So I guess I understand. So, and then they end the scene with them being sent off to rest, and there may be prisoners.
Oh, yeah, because she finds out that the Greyjoys have been captured.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that doesn't help the situation, how she feels right now.
Yeah, no. It's not,
It really
not
kind
making
of
things
blew
better.
the fuck up in her face. But how do you think that went for their first meeting ever, which was such a...
I felt like it was pretty good, honestly. Like, it's not like they tried to kill each other, so it could have been worse. It was interesting watching them try to, like, kind of argue with each other and use their little, like, some of it was petty, some of it wasn't, but it was interesting to watch, because, I mean, the fact that they're just in a still, like, set, and they were just doing back and forth dialogue, and I didn't get bored, is pretty impressive.
It is. It was, again,
It was tense.
I'm surprised it was. I'm surprised that it happened in the beginning, too. I think it later on is one of my favorite scenes with them, but this was still pretty good. And I think it well represented who both characters were, and they're both good actors, and I love them, and I know they're friends in real life, and I just love them all, and I couldn't be dissatisfied with the scene if I tried, so. Even, you know, with other stuff, but I liked it, so, yeah, anything else you want to add about this one?
No, I'm just... Sorry. Tired.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just looking forward to them, like, their next conversation.
Me too. Okay, so we're gonna get there. So the next scene is them dragging Theon out of the water. Transitions from, you know, well, I guess it's technically Daenerys being told about the ships, and then he's like, no, we're fucked, you know, they took them, but then it snaps to Theon being rescued by other Greyjoys. And once again, Theon is so pathetic. He didn't try, and that's it. I feel so judged by you, Greyjoy Captain. Swear to God. Swear to God. I don't have much to say.
Shit.
I'm still mad about that. So, unless you want to, you know, talk about that, and I guess there's no point for me, because I already said how I felt about that last time. It's stupid. Stupid.
I agree.
Yeah.
My notes literally say,
It's stupid.
why are the Greyjoys so stupid?
They're also stupid. Okay, speaking of stupid Greyjoys. So Euron brings his prizes back, aka the remaining Sand Snakes and Ilaria, and Yara, who's his prisoner. People are in love with him. He's disgusting, was my note.
Yeah, I put King's Landing people suck.
They do. They're just not very bright. And, you know, I can't blame them. They're starving a lot of the time. They probably don't have a great education system, if any. Anyway, I'm just saying, it's not all their fault. He presents the Sand Snakes, or technically it's, you know, Ilaria and her daughter, who I wrote down her name, and who the fuck knows, to Cersei. And Cersei is all, you will have all your heart desires. You are our friend. Ew. You'll get what your heart desires, and the war is won. Then Euron asks for sex advice with Cersei. And he asks, you know, she likes a finger in the butt. And I loved this scene so much. I hadn't liked Euron, and I still don't. Maybe like is a strong word, but after that with Jaime, just the level after Jaime's been pissing me off and how I feel about Cersei, I was very happy with Euron in that scene, calling him out, like being like, yeah, you know. Am I crazy? Did you feel also happy about this?
I didn't feel happy about it. I
Really?
felt bad. I just feel bad for Jamie.
You shouldn't at this point. Why do you feel bad?
I do, because it's an imbalanced like power structure. He completely is like manipulated and dependent on her, and it's a like unhealthy relationship. And I feel like, I mean, we'll talk about it more at the very end, because Olenna talked about that a lot, but it just, I don't know. I just feel like he still has choices, but he's making really stupid ones. But
for who Jamie is in this episode and this season, and like maybe since, Brienne, he let Brienne go, he's just not been anybody that I cared too much about. And he's just being so stupid. I don't see any of my Jamie in there. So for me, when that happened, I was just like, you fucking deserve it. And so does she. I mean, it doesn't, I just call him a poop. He's a big poop. Just big poop. But
I wish I could have been happy, but I wasn't.
Sorry. Well, I'll be happy for both of us.
That's fine.
And we can move on to a, not happy scene for most people universally is Cersei getting her, revenge on Ellaria and her daughter. It's a long drawn out scene, but the summary is that she kisses Ellaria's daughter and poisons her with the same poison and condemns her to watch her daughter basically rot. She'll bring her food, have the lights on, but she has to watch her daughter decompose. Now, it's kind of weird. Like, obviously, I'm not a fan of Cersei at this point. I don't understand a lot of her motivations, but I think Ellaria, and based on how the Sand Snakes acted and who they are, like, it's not going to be deserved so much, but I think it was pretty fair. It was pretty fair for, killing her daughter, who never murdered anyone as far as I know. This whole scene I thought was really well acted, and I almost felt bad for Ellaria, but I think the things we've seen her do and just what a hollow character she's been, like, I honestly think if that's her justice, then I think it's fucked up, but it's a fairer thing that Cersei could have done. I think on my end, I hope we never have to see it again. And it's possible that, she'll get out. Not the daughter, but maybe her. Is she worth it? Probably not, but I don't know. It was really disturbing, but again, I think I can't. What's her name? Marcella. That was just fucked up. And so out of all the shit she's done, killing, what's his name? I want to say it starts with a D, but, the ruler of,
Dorne?
Yeah, Dorne. She murdered him, and he seemed like an okay man. Anyway, so they've just done some really fucked up stuff, and I don't have a lot of sympathy for her. So I think that scene didn't upset me that much because maybe I was just so done with her whole shit.
Yeah, it didn't upset me very much because the whole time all I could think was like, this probably isn't going to happen in the books, considering like she was the one who was trying to be peaceful in Dorne and stuff after Oberyn's murder, and a lot of it is the Sand Snakes and stuff trying to protect Marcella, from what I remember, but maybe I'm remembering
they
wrong.
were using her in the books as a sort of it's been a while, bargaining chip. I don't feel like that's correct, but they never had intent to kill her. She does get hurt, but she doesn't die as far as we know. So yeah, it was taken in a different direction. They were using her for sure, but they weren't gonna, as far as we know. Not everybody was trying to kill her. So
yeah, for some sort of stupid revenge plot that didn't make sense.
No. Oh shit! Really, Kat? Can you not step on my stuff? This is why I don't record out here. I made mistakes. Okay. Then we have the Jamie and Cersei scene. She comes.
My notes just say no, gross.
She comes back after her, murder, and she's so turned on, just so turned on from the murder. And, you know.
I didn't make that connection, but
you
yeah,
didn't?
that makes sense.
That it hot from
That's
that
so
scene.
gross.
Yeah.
That's so
and
gross.
He's like, for a minute, he's like, what are you doing? And then she's like, no, she just does it. But,
well, he said no, too. I felt like, didn't he say he was like, no?
No, he pulled back and he was like protesting. He was confused, but then he went with it. And that whole thing happened.
Jamie, no.
We don't need to talk about it. Then her handmaid knocks on the door, or her helper, who has the same haircut, by the way. I like it.
Yeah. I was like, did we have everyone get the same haircut?
Yeah, so she could feel good. And be,
fair.
hey, that is fair. And she's like, no, we're not going to hide it. Jamie's like, don't let him see. And she's like, fuck, I'm the queen. I can do what I want, do who I want. Then the banker, played by what's his face? I don't remember his name. He's that guy. He comes on. He's like,
he's that guy.
He's coming to collect from the Iron Bank. And she managed to persuade him. We find out later on what her plan to get the money to pay them back is. But she's like, don't worry. Lannisters always pay their debts. Blah. That's great. That's great. If there's anything you want to say about these, I'm kind of blowing through them because they were like shorter scenes. And I don't think you wanted to say anything about Cersei and Jamie.
Nope.
Or the bank guy. I mean,
the bank guy, I didn't realize it was foreshadowing, but it's definitely foreshadowing.
Yeah, for sure. She's like, I'll get you that money. Don't you worry. Stay here.
Don't worry about it, baby.
Stay here.
I'm gonna get it for you.
It's cool.
Yep.
Then our next one is a good one. It's Tyrion and Jon at Dragonstone. Jon is whining because Dany didn't believe him the first time, and he wants to go. And where the fuck is his ship? You took my ship.
You took my ship. I just want to get on my ship and go home.
And then Tyrion is moping because, you know, I like that line. He has that line in the beginning where it's like, I'm brooding, but when you're brooding, you do it so much better. Why did you come here to brood? Anyway, I like that. And Tyrion's upset because their plan didn't follow through. In retrospect, probably should have taken that other. I thought it was weird they mentioned, like Jon was mentioning earlier to Dany, like, or maybe that's later on. Whatever. He mentions at some point on how, you know, she didn't take King's Landing only because he assumed she didn't want to kill the people. But it's like, I don't think anybody was thinking about that whole starving out, but somebody did mention that they would all starve. Anyway, it's very strange. It's very strange. But Tyrion's like, oh, I believed you about the White Walkers, I guess. He's all, you give up so easily. Then he explains that Dany has been freeing slaves and she didn't come back because she had things to do there. And, you know, she protects people from monsters. And, you know, one of my favorites was, that's not a reasonable thing to ask. I thought that summarized it completely. It's like, no, it's really not a reasonable thing to ask. Tyrion, I agree. And, you know, he's like, talk to the people around here. Ask them what they think of their queen, of Daenerys Stormborn, and she freed a lot of these people.
we were gonna get some scenes of that, but we didn't.
That would have been so cool. Maybe that's like a deleted scene. But at the same time, I wish that had been there because I think he should find out what she's about. I don't know. Maybe he will because he's still technically there by the end, I think. But he's like, you know what? Is there something I can get you? And he's like, you know, dragon glass. Or maybe they just snap too. And then we see, you know, Dany and Tyrion's like, he needs glass. It's, you know, you don't even know it's there. Just give it to him. It'll instill goodwill. And Dany then brings up the whole knife in the heart comment. She's like, what did that mean? And Tyrion's like, you know, Northerners, they just say shit.
You know, Northerners.
So they say so much shit.
Who the fuck knows? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I really like their dynamic though. So
yeah,
I hope they stick together a little bit. I kind of doubt it, but I hope they do. Based on how this episode goes though, you know, I think it's safe to say that there will be need for a stronger alliance and for them to, maybe she'll go to Winterfell. I highly doubt it, but that would be cool. That would be cool. Oh, and then the next scene before we talk about all these is Dany, you know, hanging out, and Jon comes up and they bond over the fact that they both lost brothers. And she's like, yeah, those two are named after my brothers. And she's like, you can have your dragon glass. They're not allies, but they're not enemies. And I really loved this scene. I love their dynamic. I always knew I would, because I don't think they're that dissimilar as characters, honestly. Except Dany obviously has like the knowledge of who she is and very much has held on to that and sort of an importance she's been given by people around her, and then was taken away from her when she was sold, and then she redeemed, or she took back sort of the power that she wanted, which I thought was always a really natural progression for her situation, that she was kind of raised to feel like she was of importance, then that was stripped away, and then she grappled it back, becoming Khaleesi and then Mother of Dragons, and all that made sense. I think Jon could have gone through a similar arc if similar things had happened to him, honestly, because I don't feel like that they were that dissimilar when things started, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
In their cores. So I like them, and I don't want to get my ship and heart a-fluttering for my ancestral times, but it is. I think they would be a wonderful pairing. Anyway, I'm fucked. Fucked all the time. I'm so... Gosh, Birdie, you're interrupting my shipping. I'm gonna let her out again. Hold on. You just are killing me. Can you stay out now? Can you stay? I can't do this with you. Eat your food. Gigi, you're worse too. You're worse because you look cute, but you're actually evil. So I won't make you comment on my shipping moment, but
if it happens, I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, gross. I'm just gonna be like,
maybe they'll never find out that he's a Targaryen. Who's gonna say? Who? It's fine.
Apparently, Bran's just gonna be weird and cryptic now.
That was fucked. We'll talk about that in a moment.
I hated that.
We're almost to it. We're almost to it, I think. I don't fuck. Yeah, we're almost to that.
Yeah, we've got a Littlefinger and Sansa scene, and then it's...
Yeah, okay.
that.
So anything else you want to say about Dany and Jon?
Nope.
Okay, good.
I support it. Whatever.
She supports it. Good. The next one, we're back at Winterfell, and Sansa can rule. She is a ruler. They need food. She's gonna find how to do that shit. Hold on a minute. You need leather on your armor. It's gonna be cold. Littlefinger is a trash bag. He's like entrancing her. Everyone's your friend, everyone's your enemy. Trust no one. Be me. That's...
When he was talking, I was like, Sansa, literally just stop
dumb?
listening
I love
to him.
Her so much.
Stop.
I love Sansa. And I think the problem is moments like this is like, you shouldn't even be entertaining. Why are you even walking with him? Why? Why are you... I just don't get it. Like, if she's playing the long game, fine. But it makes her look really weird to people who really want to support her, and it's just so strange. But Littlefinger, you can go, you can go poop yourself. That's all I gotta say, Littlefinger. And then Bran is back, and because Sansa walks out, or Jesus, kitties. Sansa walks into Winterfell, and Bran is there, and he's like, hey. And then
his acting, like, I know
fucked. It's fucked. It's fucked. What are those trees called? I wrote down heart tree, but that's not correct. I don't remember what they're called. It's kind of a big deal.
The god trees?
Yeah, that's it. They're something like that. I wrote down he's a creep. I don't know what to say.
He's a creep. I was so excited for the Stark reunion, and then I was like, what the hell
it wasn't
is
great.
His problem?
Is he okay? He's apparently no longer Bran, but the Three-Eyed Raven. Yeah, so he can see everything. He describes her wedding. He apologizes for things that have happened. And naturally, she's freaked the fuck out.
Well, I felt bad because I was like, why are you trying to trigger her PTSD?
That's
there
true.
are like a million instances you could use that are less like triggering or horrible or awful to try and, have to remember.
For a minute, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here, Bran.
She like
what weirded me
looked
out
ill.
Yeah, I know she was upset, but what weirded me out more is that she just like left him there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, he can't leave, right?
Well,
he can't get up and leave.
He has help, I guess. He used to
Someone's
have a
gonna have
fucking
to come
wolf,
get him.
but that was ruined. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
I was worried for a hot minute that Brienne, I think I was texting you during that being like, don't fucking say shit about Jon. Cause I just can't take this whole fact that if she finds out, she would suddenly turn on him and like that he's a Targaryen. I don't need that shit in my life. I don't want that shit in my life. Bran, I think, is smart enough if he sees all, or is he just stupid now? I don't know. But I think he's smart enough to see that he probably shouldn't tell her that.
I feel like he would have told her. Oh my god! I feel like he would have told her in that scene if she was gonna tell her.
Reciprocated maybe more and been like less freaked out. Maybe maybe not. I don't know. Well, I hope he doesn't, because that information needs to stay on the down low for a bit. And obviously you would want to tell the person it was about first. Anyway. So that was our Stark reunion. Arya is still in the wind. Who knows? If she comes back at that point, then we'd have 3 Starks. That would be interesting, but Lord fucking knows that nothing ever turns out that way, so who knows what'll happen.
Nope.
Is she even gonna come? I don't know. It's so confusing.
Yeah, I couldn't tell in her last scene. I was like, wait, is she gonna turn back around? I'm confused.
No, I think she's still coming. It's just like, at this point, it seems too good to be true that 3 Starks would be in Winterfell. I don't buy it.
Someone's gonna die.
But I hope it's Littlefinger, but probably not. Okay.
It's never Littlefinger.
It's never Littlefinger. It should be. Moving on. Jorah. Jorah is cured, praise be. And apparently some time has passed. I don't really know, frankly. Like, was he allowed to stay overnight? I thought he had to go by the morning, so they allowed him time to heal. I'm confused by that. There was some stuff not explained, but he's like, the climate did it. You know, the climate cured me. And he's like, okay, well, I guess you're good to go then. So Jorah's going.
I was really worried he was lying. I was really worried he was lying and that Jorah wasn't actually like cured. And when he shook hands with Sam, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna be like, you didn't actually cure him. I just don't want him here because he's distracting you. Blah blah. Blah. And then Sam was gonna be like, I've got it now. But no, that's not what
I don't think
did.
they would.
God.
Because like he said, he could have spread it and really had been bad.
Yeah, I was just worried that they were going to try and be like, let's be like M. Night Shyamalan. What a twist.
I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad.
Yeah, me too. It would have been stupid.
So bad.
But I'm really glad they didn't.
Then Sam and he are like, it was a sweet scene. It was sweet. I liked that. I hope they meet again. And then the Maester calls him in because he, of course, fucking knows what he did. But he's all fake out like, you could have done this. You could have done that. Then he's like, but you didn't. Cool.
Could have fucked up horribly, but I guess
we could have all died, but we didn't. So your reward is to keep doing your work and stay here. And he's like, what? No. And he's like, but wait, how did you do it? And he's like, I read the book and followed the instructions.
Duh.
Whoa, he's so smart.
Guess you guys just suck.
I guess. I mean, it's kind of silly that they gave up like that. I don't know why it's that. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe if you're not a smart person, you can't read the book because you don't understand. Your reading comprehension is poor. Then I can understand it not working. I don't know.
Maybe Sam's just got the touch.
Got the mojo.
The touch.
And then I guess it's technically the final scene is that whole lawn thing that starts out with Dany wanting to ride her babies to take down Euron. And everybody's like, you could get fucking killed. No, you can't do that. You can't ride your babies in there and burn down their ships. Let's just focus on Casterly Rock. And that's how we go into that whole thing with Tyrion talking about how he has the sewers that he had for his lady friends. So sometimes I'm so fucking tired of that. Sometimes I'm so tired. I call it clever poop when Tyrion does that. And especially when it involves, sex workers coming in and out. Because it's just like, we get it. You did lots of that. Cool for you.
Cool. We don't have to talk about it anymore. It's okay.
So they think they're so cool winners, but there's not enough Lannisters there. And they're like, oh, fuck. And they look out, and the Greyjoys are taking down all their fucking ships. So, whoops. They've been fucked again. That's done. And they're like, but wait, where are the rest of them? Guess what? Jaime is marching to the Tyrells.
Highgarden.
Yeah, Highgarden. And they, real quick, chop everybody down. And Jaime, he goes up and he's like, I won, Alena. Isn't that her? Olenna?
Olenna, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like drinking a drink. I thought she poisoned it for a minute, all the wine. I was like, sweet. Everyone is gonna fucking die. That would have been the weirdest ending to Jaime. But oddly, I would have been like, there could be worse endings for Jaime.
True.
There could be worse ones.
True.
At this point, like, interesting question, because we haven't really elaborated much, and I think we have a little time. Do you think at this point that it's still more likely that Tyrion or that Jaime will be the brother that kills her based on the prophecy? I still think it's Jaime, but there are times when I look at Jaime in the show and go, you couldn't do fucking shit.
I definitely think in the books it's going to be Jaime, but the show, I have no fucking clue.
At this point, it could be Tyrion, because that's like one of the things, because Alana's dying and she's like, oh, is everybody dead? And she's like, did they put up a good fight? And he's like, they're not known for fighting, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I argued so you could get this death. It won't hurt or anything. So she drinks the poison. And afterwards, they have a chat where she's like, duh, I know that you and your sister are lovers. I know all this shit, so just talk to me about it, And she's like, I don't remember her wording, but she's like, you're just wrapped around her finger or some shit. Like, you can't even see it. Or do you remember any of her specific wording?
Basically, she was like talking about how
she'll be the end of you or something.
She'll be the end of you, and like, you're too far gone. And she was like, you need to get away from her. And then afterwards she was like, man, you really do love her. Like, I give it to you, but
but you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Dumbass. You're so dumb. And I think that kind of propelled her more so into her confession, which I was proud of that girl. I was proud of her. Yeah. So proud.
I did appreciate that she was like, I didn't know it was gonna be that horrible. Like,
yeah,
she was
that was good. That was a good moment. That was good. So she confesses to killing Joffrey. She's the one who poisoned, which will turn the table a little bit, because if Cersei believes it, which I don't know why she wouldn't, and assuming he tells her, which he should, and I think he would, because he still wants, he was, I think some part of him thought still that Tyrion did it, right? I can't remember.
I think he was worried that Tyrion, after Tyrion killed their dad, he was he was more worried about it.
Probably did kill my son.
He might have done it. Maybe
a little
I
upset,
saw him wrong.
Though. Like, I didn't think Jaime was that upset about his, Joffrey's passing, but he seemed pretty shooketh.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's like, I want her to be like, that was the sweetest moment of my life. But that probably wouldn't have been, I would have been like that, because that fucker deserved it. But
yeah, I was talking to Ryan and he was like, didn't he deserve it?
He really did.
I mean, yeah, but really it's nice that she was like, I didn't want him to suffer horribly. Yeah, but also, at least
cool.
Her intentions
that was
weren't
still
horrible.
A little cool.
It was still a little cool.
And he's like, and I think, oh, you killed my son, who was a monster. Anyway.
Well, I think, like, when he was getting upset, I felt like it was more, because she was talking about, how horrible it must have been for him to not be able to really, like, hold him because it was his son. And I was like, I think he was more upset about the lost potential of having, a close relationship with his son, and maybe his son wouldn't have turned out like a fucking psychopath.
Well, honey, you should have thought of that a long time ago. But I guess that was just not on the list of important things. I still wish that it had been a thing that they found out one of the kids, despite everything, was Robert's. But like, they could have been, honestly. Like who knows? Genetics are weird. This book is entirely based upon the fact that there's no ability for her genetics to triumph over his on a child. So like, and it's just weird. It's weird. Or that she always knew when they had sex and when they didn't have sex, so the baby would have been blanks. Like, I don't think she could have known that.
Well,
So
didn't
weird.
she have a baby that
She
had
did.
brown hair and it died?
She killed that one.
Oh, she killed
I
it.
think
That's
I think
lovely.
when she found out that she definitely was pregnant with one of his kids, she aborted it herself, or she killed her baby after she birthed it, because, which is again genetics. Westeros apparently is very dumb, which we kind of already knew, I guess. I'm pointing out the obvious. So like I'm saying, it could have been that Marcella. It could have been freaking probably not Joffrey, because he was real fucked. But it could have been that one of the other kids was Robert's. It's so funny. That is always the funniest fact about this show.
I don't know. I feel like Jaime probably would have been sweeter had he not been near Cersei his whole life.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
maybe. I always, I don't think they specify in the books how like that whole thing started, other than the fact that they were fucking emotionally neglected, and I don't know, but I wonder who of them was more the instigator. Does it matter? Probably not, but
Not really, but I don't know.
it's very interesting. I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
You can
Gross.
definitely tell he needs her way more than she needs him.
For sure.
He's an afterthought for her.
Yeah, she definitely uses him and doesn't really. I wonder what her plan about Mr. Euron is. Obviously, she's not going to marry him. That's not happening.
No. She's definitely going to kill him.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So, something to look forward to, friends. I really enjoyed this episode. I did the episode. It's really good.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about before we go is the reason that I was nervous about Dany wanting to go and like destroy Euron's ships on her dragons is because he's got the fucking horn.
Yeah, but
that controls them.
That's true. However, oh my
That's
god,
not
it would
good.
be this fucking show to take that and make it the one thing that like fucking works and comes.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think fucking Euron wants to marry Cersei either, to be real with you. Why?
No.
It's all a ruse. He always wanted Dany.
I think he'd try to kill her.
Oh yeah, I mean, duh. He has fucking crazy eyes. He disturbs me. I would not let that man within 10 feet of me, let alone touch my pinky. No, get away from me.
Nope. No.
So yeah, did you overall like the episode?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it was really frustrating and upsetting in certain parts, but it was good. It was entertaining.
I want to see Dany win, because at this point it's silly. They've made
3 steps
bad
forward
choices.
and then
Tyrion
20
is
steps
not.
back.
Tyrion is not he's not like a war guy. I don't know.
He's not a strategist.
No, I don't think he's making. I think Dany's relying too heavily upon him at this point, I guess. Not that I don't like him and think that he has decent ideas, but I don't know. We'll see how that pans out in the 4th episode. Well, we're technically halfway. Well, if there's 7 episodes, we're not technically halfway. It's kind of uneven, but we're sort of close to being halfway done with the season. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully more Jon and Dany, and hopefully it amps up a little and Dany gets more good things happening, other than, everything going really bad for her.
Yeah.
That'll do it for us here.
Yep.
That'll do it.
That'll
do
do,
real
pig.
good.
That'll do.
I gotta go watch some. I'm recording a Area 51 special because it looked entertaining, and apparently, if you get within any close distance of there, they have the legal ability to. What did the guy say? There was a security guard who they were interviewing who's like, we can ace him or something.
What the hell?
It's some word that means wreck 'em, but it wasn't wreck. It was like a word I had not heard in a very, very long time. Yeah. So apparently, yeah. Anyway, it's interesting. I'm interested. And also my Jack the Ripper show's on tonight. So I'm going to have a history night. It's going to be great. History Channel evening with my kitty, George. I want to see if she can breathe into the microphone. George, breathe. Can you hear it?
I can hear her heart.
That's purring.
Oh, the purr.
She's got, sometimes at night when she's sleeping deeply, I think she's really gonna like, I think, can she breathe? Is she okay? Because she just got a little schnoodle that's so smushed, and she makes noises, and I'm scared she doesn't get proper, oxygen to her brain. Anyway.
She's just very comfy, high on that comfort.
That's a worry. She's fine. She's my little buddy. You're the best one. Anywho.
Don't tell the others.
No, please don't. Please don't. We aren't doing really plugs on this, but, I'm probably going to go back and start reading the books again back from where I left off. I think that's a fun thing to do, and I'll be doing that and hoping for a new book soon. So, anything good you want to talk about for a sec before we depart?
I'm shipping out my rose gold orders of the shepherd pens, and if you're still interested, I ended up getting 100 of them accidentally instead of just 50.
Whoops.
So if you want them,
and they were more popular,
on my Etsy.
And you don't have that many left.
No, I don't. There's like
there was a high demand.
Less than
high demand.
Yep, less than 20 gold and less than 20 rose gold.
And a lot of them sold, guys. This is going to be over soon for real. You got lucky, but
and then I'm going to start doing Garrus.
Yeah, and then after Garrus, which buy all the Garrus because I want Liara. So buy all the Garrus so I can have a Liara. Do it now.
Yep, and then we're going to do a Shikarian heart pin, and then Thane, and then I'm going to do a Solas pin. Basically, it's just one chain of one after the other.
Who are these people?
A lot of people were like, where's Thane? Where is he? Where's Thane? And I was like, I mean, I can make him, but you gotta buy him.
The only person I know who loves Thane is Felicia Day, and I don't even know her, but if she had a P.O. box, I'd buy one from you and send it to her because she would love that. Anyway, sorry, I'm just thinking, but I guess people love Thane. Are you gonna get the full 100 on him or only get 50? I don't know how it works.
It's more cost effective to just get 100 because like the price of the pen.
You definitely need to take pre-orders before you ever do anything official on that. Yeah, because I worry.
I do too, because otherwise, if it doesn't sell, you end up losing like $300.
Yeah, if you don't make any profit off of it, then I don't know if there's much of a point, especially with stuff. So that's right, guys. When that happens, you better pre-order the Thane pen, or else it's not happening.
Yep. If we don't reach at least 30,
get one for Christmas for your friends. Get one for your grandma. Get one for your cat. Get one for your uncle.
Pin it to their collar. It's fine.
You can just tell them it's a lizard if somebody likes wildlife.
Yeah, this is a frog.
He's a frog.
Or, I mean, a lizard.
He's a beautiful frog. You can make shit up.
Frog.
And
doesn't matter.
Support artists.
Just say it's from Star Trek. They'll be like,
it's from Star Trek.
Okay.
It's an episode you never saw. Sorry. You need to go back.
It's from the vault.
Unaired. It didn't make it. It was too hot for TV.
Too hot for TV. Frogman sex. I don't know.
I bet there was something like that. I'm sure in Doctor Who there was. Anyway, It's also from Doctor Who. It can be anything you want it to be, and
doesn't matter.
That's the appeal of Thane.
Yep.
I think. I have not been told. That was around the time I realized that I was 100% a lesbian. I was like, I'm feeling nothing. There is nothing going on here. Zero zip, nothing. I could not be less moved by this experience. I don't know.
I like what Cherie says about him. She's always like, he sounds so thirsty. Listening to him talk makes me so thirsty. I just want some water.
Yeah. Yeah, his voice reminds me maybe more weirdly of like I think he died, which is sad, but this actor who I think was in Knocked Up, who played Seth whatever's character's dad, he reminds me of that guy who was that funny voice like this. I don't know his name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. He was in a ton of 80s movies, always playing a dad. Maybe it's a different guy, but I can't remember. Anyway, he sounds a lot like him, just not doing the tone. Or no, the guy who plays Marlin. What's his name in Finding Nemo? The dad. He seriously sounds like him if he's not doing that inflection. Yeah, he does.
I can see it. Yeah. Man.
Oh my God. Siri thought when I said seriously that I said, "Hey Siri." Don't you fucking do that, Siri. She's done that all day. If I say anything that sounds like that, she talks back to me. So I just want her to stop. Anyway. Yeah, buy those pens. You can find them where?
On glitterfangs.etsy.com.
Glitterfangs.etsy.com. There will be a link in the description because I will be getting this out. And that's going to do it for us. Have a good week. We'll see you for the next throne. There's no outro of this. I don't know. I don't know anything cute. We'll see you in
Little finger. He's so
I ship Danny and John. I am ashamed. I am ashamed. I am ashamed. Goodbye. That's good.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.